what part of you? Do they come from spirit or do they come from your soul?
If you're talking about where they can come from, there's probably three places where they can come from. One place is your own soul and its unresolved emotions. So if you wake up from a dream feeling, an emotion, then that's an unresolved emotion that you are not dealing with in your day-to-day life. And you're refusing to deal with it, but in your sleep state you are wanting to deal with it, and so you're giving yourself a message, if you like, of what emotion you're avoiding. So that's one. The second type of dreams are sort of inspirational, I suppose you could call them. And many of those come through spirits to you. And in the end, many of them come from God. In a way, it's a way of God communicating with you about reassuring you. And many of those kind of dreams are based around giving you confidence or trust or hope or those kind of emotions. And then the third type would be dreams that you dream because you're actually there. And in your sleep state, every single night you go to sleep, you are actually awake in your sleep state. Your spirit body and your soul is awake, and you're roaming the spirit world in the areas where you can get to, talking to people, setting up events, meeting people, meeting new people, setting up meetings on earth with them, and all sorts of things. And you're doing that every night. So I met all of you in the sleep state before I met you anyway.
So I wake up tired sometimes.
And you can do this while you're still awake, walking around, and you're getting...
Of course you can, and this is what they classify as an out-of-body experience, which is an out. A lot of people don't do it because where their law of attraction is in the first sphere, and in the first sphere there's a lot of very ugly and angry people. And so you meet them if you go out of body, and you attract them if those emotions are within yourself, right? So obviously it's very uncomfortable doing it, and so most people get very frightened and detuned from it. So I detuned from that when I was a young child, because I had too many very frightening experiences.
The question I meant was, even though you're walking around and alert and doing your everyday life, the vision is like a dream, but you're alert.
Well, that kind of a vision is different than an out-of-body experience. So an out-of-body experience, your physical form, you won't be conscious of what it's doing. So I've had periods of time where I've just been sitting down like this, and all of a sudden, 3 hours later, and I'm still sitting like this. And what's happened in between? Like, I know that there was just a time space in between, but I had 3 hours and I don't know where it went. I didn't go to sleep. And so at that moment, there was an out-of-body experience. And the consciousness is with the spirit body and the soul, right? And because of the disconnection I still feel between the two, obviously I'm not conscious of that in the awake state. Now that's happened quite often, and that happens quite often to lots of people. A vision is a bit different. A vision is more something, inspiration generally, that's given to you by a spirit. And the spirit feeds you things about their life to help you with their emotions, or they're connected with you in some way, or they're feeding you truths that they feel you need to, what they believe are truths that they feel you need to